You feel that you can't go on because all of your hope is gone, and your life is filled with much confusion. Until happiness is just an illusion, and your world around is crumbling down. Darling, reach out. Come on, girl, reach out for me. Reach out. Reach out for me. Ha! I'll be there with the love.
1 year in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, November 1935. I play sports, but not organized. Well, organized in the record centers, not in high school, not in elementary school. We played like playground all around this, the city. Well, not all around the city. Of course, it was segregated back then, so we had our place, our section, called the Colored Neighborhood. I joined the service in 1949, and 1953 when I graduated high school, and ended up in Oklahoma. From there to Germany, and from Germany I moved to Philly in 1956. When I joined the police department, I joined in 1962, and of course I worked in North Philly. I was assigned to the 22nd District, 17th of Montgomery, and I worked there as a patrol officer, motor patrol, car patrol, and foot beat. And my sector really was up in the area of Strawberry Mansion. 1968, I was assigned to the Community Relations Division of Police Department in Philadelphia, and assigned from there to the Police Athletic League. Opened our first center 29th in Lehigh in 1968.
When we came up, this was the first organized program that we really initiated ourselves with, was the North Penn PAL. Other than school, this is all we had. And in 1971, when Harold Barnes came and opened the center, all of us gravitated to it right away. I mean, we had myself, Ant-Man, Pie, Julio, Bus, Shank. We had a whole crew that came from 26 in York, the village, in this PAL from the first day. And luckily, I was the first PAL member here, signing up and bringing it right back, and became a member. And then everybody else came, and Harold Barnes opened this center from 3 to 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday. We'd be waiting right here at right after school, and then we got in at 3 o'clock. Another group came in at 6 o'clock, the older guys, and that went on for years. I mean, we had hundreds of people in here during the course of one day. The whole community, either you played here or you watched. But anybody you was looking for, you would find them right here in this PAL, whether they played or not. They were in this PAL. It was a safe haven for our whole village community. And the Tenderloin, 30th Street, up that area. Harold came from 29th and Lehigh. Those guys came down and followed Harold here after the programs got started. And we intertwined as a group.
What PAL did was just brought the kids, gave them a place to come. We even used to call it a hangout. Sure, it was a hangout, but it was supervised.
This is the entrance to the PAL Center. We would all be waiting right out here, at least by 2:45, waiting on Harold Barnes. Sometime he would be in already, sometime he hadn't pulled up yet. But 3 o'clock, the doors open, and like Ant-Man Rose said, we're flying in, because the first one in gets the first game, okay? That way, if you get in there first, you play first.
As I look back on it now, it was just a gift. It was an honor. It was a pleasure.
3 o'clock, bedlam. Full. You almost had a full house you had a full house waiting outside. It was always packed in here. Legendary North Penn PAL Gym. This was our safe haven. Monday to Friday, playing ball. This court you're looking at right here happens to be the big boy court. This is where all the ballers was at. If you played and you had game, you started out on this court, whether you was the little guy who's the top dog or the big guy. You came in 3 to 6, 14 and under, 15 and over. You came in 6 to 9. You played here, you started out, you were the man. The key to this court, you could shoot jumpers from a distance. You can shoot from here without hitting the beams. So, home court advantage number 1 we learned at a young age. Take this court last. We're here with one of the best point guards down at the PAL coming up with Danny. My man Danny. Danny could play.
Mm-hmm. Dan, you played for Edison, didn't you?
I played for Edison for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most memorable things at the Powell Center was that small size
With the
of
beam?
with the beam where you had to shoot. You had to shoot down on the basket and bank it. You know, but there was a lot of great memories at Powell. You know, all the games we played there, and all the fun we had. Actually, kept us out of trouble.
I think every moment was great. Standout moments. Those are times when we competed against other PAL centers. We won championships, and we traveled all over, the city, and all over, out of the state, and everywhere. It's just rewarding to be able to work with kids and know that you are a positive influence in their lives.
I remember when we went to New York and won
Right,
championship
tournament
with Mr.
team,
Barnes.
yeah.
Well, he took an all-star team over there. I was a junior, so I was in 11th grade of 74. We went down there and we beat the champions by about 50 points. They were the returning champions. Actually, I remember I never even came down court because Jesse and all them grabbed the rebounds just throwing the ball down court. We had a layup drill the whole game. Me, Colston, George,
yeah.
we all just laying the ball up.
At the North Bend Powell Center, we ran a comprehensive program. We not only played basketball, we did other things, and that was featuring one of the first young ladies to play in a basketball league with us. She not only played, she also kept the book for us, and she was a technician with the book. Her name was Rita Harris.
Hi, I'm Rita, and what can I say? North Bend Powell Center was good. It was good for me as a teenager growing up, somewhere safe to go. Carl Barnes was the greatest. Between here, playing ball with the guys, being here, scorekeeper, I really enjoyed my time.
So
at
you was
North
one of the
Bend
first
Powell Center.
females that actually played in the league, correct?
Yes, I was. I played on the Bullets. Cookie and Dennis got me on their team, and we went on from there.
It was not a big deal to me. It was my job. But thank God I had that job. Thank God I could be that influence in their lives at that time. And I wouldn't take anything for that experience.
Remember, you used to hang in there until the games were getting ready to be played. You can get all set up, get your book and the clock
A
together.
lot of memories.
Right here in the office.
A lot of
Yeah.
memories
Uh-huh.
at this office. On this that.
I was just a police officer working in the community.
I appreciate Mr. Barnes coming here, being a good friend, being a good mentor.
And we
Yeah,
just
that's-
happened to have one of the scoring books.
I can't believe I saw my name still in here.
So I look back on it now. Wow.
Circles for foul shots, and if you colored them in, that's how many they made, and if it was open, that's what they missed. So everybody knew as a team how many they made and missed as a team and individually. That's the proper way to keep the book, yeah. But we ain't had to worry about no threes back then. What you
Yeah,
did, just made a three.
By myself. Oh my God, so many memories. Oh, boy, go see Warriors down there.
The Warriors, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Being that influence in their lives at that time, I think it was just tremendous. I wouldn't take anything for it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
A lot of these names is really like the Warriors. You had Antonio Mann, Michael Harris. First husband, Antonio Mann, Michael Harris, my brother, Jenkins, Holbrook, Mann, Frank, Tansy Moore. I still see these guys to this day. This is nice. And it's just beautiful to see my name up here among the men. These were very good guys, good young men, good friends. Never any problems with nobody. It's just nice to see history.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
history. When we were teenagers, I tell you, I enjoyed my teenage years here. Came home from school, did homework, and here we are at the Powell Center. Everybody's here had fun. I don't know of any problems up here. It's an enjoyable place to go, and Mr. Barnes helped keep us safe.
We're here at Richard R. Wright Schoolyard, where our summer softball league continued here. This is Hal Shank Williams, legendary villager from back in the day. Hal was one of the first players on the softball team of Haggard Street. We had Haggard Street, York Street, and Marston Street and Gordon Street. So they were the four teams in the village that all of us had a baseball team, a softball team. Hal was the captain of the Haggard Street crew. This was our recreation before the PAL. This is where we played our softball games. Harold Barnes started a league in the summer of '72, our first baseball league that we had organized. We would just play for fun. But back here where the flagpole is, that was home plate right in front of there. And then the dimensions were all around third base, all around center field. The fence all the way back was a home run when we played. It was a wall back there that slanted. But this was our recreation. We played softball here every evening. 100-degree weather, it didn't matter. Games started at like 5:45, 6 o'clock. But we had to change locations, and it was because it used to be errant throws over this fence into the people's window. People be eating dinner, and the softball come in the window. Bless his soul, I ain't gonna say no names, but Bobby Clyde was really the main culprit. He played shortstop, and he couldn't get it to the first baseman. I don't know what was the problem, but we had 2 or 3 balls that went into people's living rooms over here, and then with the complaints and Harold Barnes scared somebody gonna get killed, we moved from here to Richard R. Wright School, which is nothing but schoolyard. I mean, you couldn't hit nobody's house if you had an arm like John Elway.
My name is Sheldon Tansmore, and I came here to Calvary back in '68, '69-ish, looking for a way out to play basketball, something to do. And when I came here, I ran into Mr. Barnes, Harold Barnes, and he opened a Powell Center for us. I live up the street, a block up on Oakdale Street. I live a block up. And we used to come here. This was actually our safe haven to get out of the streets from the gangs, the gang wars, the stuff that was going on. So this gave us a way out after school programs. It wasn't much going on, but the Powell Center for us back in those days.
Back then it was a lot of gang warfare, a lot of drugs, and to have these kids under my, in my center, and under my care, it's the best thing in the world.
Mr. Barnes was very warm-hearted and welcomed me into the Powell Center. It was tough playing in here because it had a ceiling. You had to shoot the ball like in a line drive to get it to go in the rim, because if you put an arc to it, the ball hit the ceiling. So that was tough, you know what I mean? Because it showed us to shoot in a different way, in a different angle. Even though I was little, I had much art anyway. But Mr. Barnes opened this up for us. This was like a pretty decent neighborhood. Across the street, we had the Lehigh Food Center. Then we had Robinson Drugstore. And then he had a dentistry across the street. So this was a pretty productive and business-forward neighborhood. Also, it was a Scout and Cub Scout patrol here. And I was in the 540 Scout and Cub Scout 540. And actually, come to think of it, that's how I ran to Mr. Barnes, by being a Cub Scout. Then he came later on, opened up the Powell Center. So, again, this is Calvary Baptist Church. Mr. Howell opened this up for us, and then he left here, and he moved down towards North Penn Baptist Church. And that was
that's kind of a shock to you, was it?
that was a big shock to me because trying to get there through the gangs and through the neighborhoods was an obstacle. So I would walk straight down Lehigh Avenue and cut across 27th Street and go down, stay out of everybody's way. We had so many gangs in between the area, so I didn't want to be crossing anybody's territory, as they call it. You out of your way. So after a while, they got to know me as a basketball guy, so they didn't bother me for years. For a lot of times, I could walk the neighborhood then and play basketball at North Penn Powell with no problem.
My name is Reggie Jackson. I'm from North Philadelphia. And I came to the Calvary church where the Powell was held at, Mr. Barnes, in the late 60s. Mr. Barnes was a great mentor, a teacher, a role model for us. He introduced us to a lot of different activities. As you know, in North Philadelphia, we had a gang problem. In every corner, there was a different gang. And that was an outlet for us to go play, to be competitive with one another, share with one another. Mr. Barnes had a great effect on us. That's why it's so important for this Barnes effect, this project, documentary to take off, because we want to give homage to him because of his greatness and how he sacrificed for us. He cared so much for us. He actually was a cop, and he gave all his time to us to help us to become better men. When he moved to 27th Street in North Penn Powell, we were a little shocked about it, but we was going to follow him no matter where he went, because he meant that much to us. He meant so much to us. He gave us the ability to continue to play basketball, to work with one another. He was a true mentor for us. We had a little problem with the gangs. However, we had a couple guys that really cared about us, and they thought they were pretty good people. The guy by the name of Top Cat, he was in one of the gangs, and he was the kind of guy that would always give us a pass. Don't mess with Shelton, Hayden, some of the other guys, myself. We were able to go down, and we had a good time, very competitive, and we did a lot of great things there.
My name's Craig Johnson. I'm one of the original members of the North Penn Powell. I joined back in the early 70s. During a walkabout, I came across Mr. Barnes, Harold Barnes, sitting out here on the steps, and I came up and introduced myself, and he explained to me who he was and what he was attempting to do around here, and we kind of came together with the guys from up we call 33rd Street, with another summer outlet that used to play basketball, and where we had teams of Dynamite Mike, and Harry's Hippies and all that. A lot of those guys, the Gamma League, that was the name of it. And a lot of those guys came down here, and we went there, and we, kind of built teams together. I had a younger brother, Kevin, who came up, and he started in the Junior Powell League. Hal organized a couple leagues, different basketball leagues when he was here. We called the juniors and the seniors. And in addition to baseball, and he brought a lot of community togetherness here. And I became part of that and helping him officiate the basketball games, baseball games, and even some of the national PAL tournaments that we went to. There were a lot of what we called superstars around that came through this area. But this outlet was also for those few that weren't able to make it in that scholastic arena, but they came here and they were superstars in their own name.
North Philly to me is just, wow. If you think of the people who come out of North Philly in politics and music and law and in education have gone on to succeed, wow. It's just overwhelming if you stop and think about, just stop and think of the people who came out of North Philly. North Philly to me And I think to most people who came up and out of North Philly into other fields and moved out, and their heart always go back to North Philly. That's where they were born. That's where they were raised. That's where they went to school. And believe me, if you lived in North Philly, if you were raised in North Philly, you never leave North Philly. North Philly never leaves you. And I don't care if you move out of North Philly to the suburbs, or if you move out of state, if you move to another state, you still are proud to say, look, I'm from North Philly. You know, that's where I was born. That's where I was raised. That's where I went to school. You know, it's just, I wouldn't take anything for my memories of North Philly. And I still love North Philadelphia. And to me, that's, you know, people say West Philly, Germantown, Mount Airy, West Oak Lane, North Philly. We always go back to North Philly. That's where everything to me started. And I wouldn't take anything. I was there. I worked there, I lived there, and I worked in the police department there. My whole adult life was in North Philadelphia. So, you know how I value. That's the value I put on North Philadelphia. Even today, I would even live in North Philly if I went back. I would live in North Philly, you know, because to me, it was the best place in the world to be raised. And you got a lot of memories if you were raised in North Philly. A lot of good memories. We were talking about it today, you know. How many good memories came out of North Philly. We were just sitting there talking with Lloyd. You know, I had no idea that Lloyd, when he was 16, sitting on the steps at 29th and Lehigh talking, he was 16 years old. I had no idea that he would be the fire commissioner of Philadelphia. There's no way I could have envisioned that. No way. And look at that. Not only Lloyd, but look at all the guys that succeeded, the people who came out of North Philadelphia and were successful. So the project is about, hey, you can be from North Philly, yeah, and you can go to great heights, you know, from North Philly. Don't think because you're from North Philly that that's a bad thing. That's a wonderful thing. It's a great thing to be from North Philadelphia. And so this North Philadelphia project is just, it came up as an idea, and now it's growing.